Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with the last chapter of your reader, that is bow before a hat. Bow means bend. Bend. When we pay respect to somebody, we bend in front of them. That is called bowing. Okay. Please remember, B-O-W is bow, not bow. It's bow also, but that is a noun. This is bow, verb. Okay, let's start. It's bow before a hat. Do you think we ever bow in front of a hat? No, we bow in front of God, or maybe at times to give respect to seniors, to people, elders or seniors, then we bow in front of people. But we never bow in front of a hat. So this story is very strange something, and let's see what's there. Why is this story there in your book? There must be something very big about it. Okay, let's see. A hat was put on a pole and everyone was asked to bow before it. William Tell realized that it was a silly thing to do and refused. William Tell क्या है? यहाँ पे एक character है, a person in the story. He feels that this was something very funny and weird, so he refused to bow before it. Let's find out what happened to him. High up among the mountains of Switzerland, there lived a man called William Tell. Switzerland is a hilly country. There are a lot of hills in Switzerland. So, in the hills of Switzerland lived a man called William Tell. He was known far and wide as a brave man, a great hunter, and an excellent shot. Far and wide means everywhere, for big areas. For long distances, he was known as a brave man. People knew him that he was very brave. He was a great hunter. He could hunt very well. Like in the jungles, people go for hunting, no? Animals go. And an excellent shot. Like his shooting, his aiming was very good. He would never miss an aim. We are talking about the days when there were people used to use arrows and bows, not guns or something like that. So olden days ka story hai ye. So he had a very good aim. There was no better archer in the country. Archers are the people who use bow and arrow. They are called archers. Once, Switzerland at that time was ruled by Governor Gessler. The head of the country was Governor Gessler. He was a cruel, vain man who wanted his subjects to worship him. He passed harsh laws, some of which were funny even. He was the head of the country, so power hota hai na, people become corrupt. He was very cruel with his people. Subjects means the people over whom he used to rule. They are called subjects. एक तो ruler होता है, एक otherwise we have common people who are being ruled. They are called subjects. He wanted his subjects to worship him. Does this remind you of some Hindu, like Indian ruler also? One king. If somebody could guess, who wanted his people to worship him like God? Hiranyakashipu. Yeah. Why do we celebrate Holi? Prahlad's father, no? He wanted his people to worship him like God. He was Governor Gessler was the same. He passed harsh laws. He made such laws which were not easy to follow. Rules, laws ऐसे बनाए that people could not follow them, and some of them were funny also. Once what he did, he placed his hat on a high pole by a roadside and ordered all who passed by to bow before it. One day he made a rule, I am keeping my hat on a high pole. You can see, no? picture में high pole, and he placed his hat there, asking people, if you cross this way, you have to, like, everybody had to bow before that hat. Now people were scared. He was the ruler, he was the head person of the state. People had to follow him. So everybody used to cross, like whoever used to cross that path had to bow. The Swiss were brave and proud. They thought it ridiculous to bow before a hat. Now Swiss people are brave and they're proud even. So they thought, "Ye kya hua? What is this rule like?" They did not like it. So what they thought, this is not good, this is not fair to bow before a hat. So what they did, not a single Swiss went past the road where the pole was fixed. So no one ever bowed to the hat because no one ever passed it. Now people, they were proud. They thought this is not fair to do. So they stopped passing that path. They did not want to bow in front of a hat. But it was a rule. So they stopped passing through that road. One morning, William Tell came into town with his small son. He had not heard of this strange law, so holding his son's hand, he went past the pole. Poor thing, he did not know about this rule, about this law. He was holding his son's hand and he crossed that pole. He went past it. "Stop!" cried the soldier who was on guard near the pole. "What's the matter?" asked Tell. "Why do you not bow before the hat of your master?" asked the soldier. William Tell burst out laughing and said, "Whoever heard of a man bowing before a hat? I'm not going to do it." He said, "Have you ever heard anybody bowing in front of a hat? I'll never do it." And while they were arguing, Gessler rode up with a company of soldiers. Just that time, Gessler was there. He was coming with his company of soldiers. "What's the matter?" he asked. "This man will not bow to your hat, sir," said the soldier. Gessler frowned and looked angry. "What's your name?" he asked. "William Tell." "So you are William Tell, the finest shot in the country," said Gessler sarcastically. Sarcastically means making fun of him, mocking him. "I'll give you a test. If you pass it, you shall go free." Gessler said, "I'm going to give you a test. If you pass the test, I'll let you go free. And if you fail the test, then I'm going to punish you." Gessler dismounted, went up to the small boy and asked him, "Are you William Tell's son?" Remember, he had his son with him. "Yes, I am," the boy replied proudly. Even the boy was quite proud. Gessler dragged the boy to an oak tree, placed an apple on his head, and turned to Tell. He took the boy to the oak tree and made him stand there, keeping one small apple on his head. Then he turned to Tell and said, "Hit the apple with your arrow and prove to me what a great marksman you are." Oh my God, how could he do that? His small son, if he had missed the aim, he could have killed his own son. So William Tell was not very happy. Of course, it was a fire test for him. He said, "You have to only hit the apple without harming your son. And if you miss it, then punishment bhi hoga, and he would miss his son also." William Tell was speechless. He did not know what to do, what to say. The king's soldiers were also horrified. Even the soldiers, they thought, "Oh my God, what a test was there for William Tell." Even they were horrified listening to the master. But who could do anything? Nobody could stop the governor. "How can I shoot at my own son?" William Tell asked himself. Tell's son, but on the other hand, William Tell तो worried है कि how could he shoot his son. But on the other hand, Tell's son gazed at his father with love and trust in his eyes. Tell's son was very sure about his father's aim. He said, "Daddy, go on, do it. I know you will not miss the mark." "Father," he said, "please hit the apple and prove that you are an excellent marksman. I promise I'll stand still." Stand still means I'll not move. I'll not make you miss the aim. William Tell had no choice. He took out 2 arrows. Now, how many arrows he wanted for his son, for the apple? Only one. But he took out 2 arrows. One he put in his belt, and the other he strung to his bow. अब उसने क्या करा? One he put in his belt and the other on his bow. He took aim and shot. The apple split into 2. Split means was cut into 2. It was made into 2 pieces. Tell's son came running into the waiting arms of his father, and they clung to each other. Clung means they hugged each other. You can see in the picture now. Father and son hugging each other. Before you go, called out Jessler. Now Jessler had no words to say anything because Tell had passed his test very beautifully. Before you go, called out Jessler, answer one question. Tell looked at him and waited. Why did you take out 2 arrows? Why did you put the second arrow in your belt? Of course, everybody must be thinking, but Jessler could ask him. Looking into Jessler's eyes fearlessly, Tell replied, the second arrow was for you. If the first arrow had hurt my son, I would have used the second arrow. If I had hurt my son by any chance, I wouldn't have spared you even. Because of your rule, I would have hurt my son. But then I wouldn't have spared you even. I would have used the second arrow for you. Then he wouldn't have been scared of the punishment. So I hope you like the story. Next class we will do its question answers. Okay, and as it is, any doubt you can call me up or talk to me in the online class. Okay, bye bye.